To the video of chapter number 1 solid state from chemistry standard 12th. In this video we are going to study electrical properties and magnetic properties of solid. So let's start. As we know that on the basis of electrical properties the solid can be distinguished between the conductors, semiconductors and insulators. Hence the amount of electrical conductivity, that is the electric current passed, can be distinguished in the conductors, insulators and semiconductors. Solids show electrical conductivities which varies from as low as 10 raised to minus 27 per ohm per meter and 10 raised to 7 per ohm per meter. Now, depending upon the difference in the electrical conductivities, the solids are classified as follows. Now, when we talk about the conductors have the electrical conductivity ranging from 10 to the power 4 to 10 to the power 7 per ohm per meter, and they are classified as metallic conductors and electrolytic conductors. Now, these metallic conductors, there is a flow of electricity due to the chemical change in the metal, whereas in electrolytic conductor the flow of electricity is due to the movement of ions in molten or aqueous state. Now, when we are saying that a solid which have low conductivity range, that is 10 to the power minus 20 per ohm per meter to 10 to the power minus 10 per ohm per meter. These solids are called as insulators. For example, plastic, wood, non-metals, molecular solids are insulators. Now, this is also classified into another group, that is semiconductors. Now, what are semiconductors? Semiconductors are solids having conductivity between the 10 to the power minus 6 per ohm per meter to 10 to the power 4 per ohm per meter. For example, silicon and germanium, these are very good semiconductors. Now we are going to study band theory, and from this band theory we are going to distinguish between the conductors, insulators and semiconductors. Now this band theory, it is a theoretical concept. It doesn't have any experimental evidence, but it can very well explain that why conductors, insulators and semiconductors, they behave, how do they pass the electricity through it. So let's study band theory now. According to the band theory, the interaction between the electronic energy levels are closely spaced to the constituent atoms in solid and leads to the formation of a band. Now, whenever the electrons are whenever a current is passed, for example, if we are taking a solid and whenever we are passing a external current or a external circuit is applied to it, there is a movement of electrons, and when there is a movement of electron, there is a formation of a band, that is a conduction band and a valence band. Now which are these two bands? Conduction band is formed from the empty partially filled orbitals, that is the electrons which are mobile and delocalized over the entire solid, and they conduct the electricity when electric potential is applied. Now, what is a valence band? A band having energy levels lower than that of the conduction band is called as a valence band. Your electrons cannot move freely as they are bound to the respective nuclei. Now, this valence band is a band wherein all the electrons are paired. So, this is a valence band, whereas a conduction band, it is a empty, partially filled conduction. Now, in between the conduction band and the valence band, there is a gap which is called as a band gap. The energy gap which separates the valence and the conduction band is called as a band gap. The size of the band gap decides whether the electron can jump from the valence band to the conduction band. If the band gap is too large, the electron cannot move from the valence band to the conduction band even if the thermal energy is applied, and this is called as a forbidden zone. The band gap is small, electron can be promoted from the valence band to the conduction band by absorption of energy. Now, when we are talking about the valence band and the conduction band. Now with this valence band and conduction band, we can divide it into the insulators, semiconductors and conductors. Now for example, in the insulator, the band gap is too large. So even if we pass the electric current, because of this band gap is very large, the electron cannot be transferred easily to the conduction band, and hence they act as an insulators. Whereas in semiconductor, the band gap is less and the electron can be transferred to the conduction band when we apply the external circuit or a thermal energy, that is if we heat it. So the electron can be transferred to the conduction band and hence they act as in semiconductors. Whereas in the conductors, the band gap is not at all there. That is, there is no gap between the conduction band and valence band, and hence the electron can be easily transferred and hence they act as an conductors. So with this band theory, we can very well explain the insulators, conductors and semiconductors. Now this is a diagrammatic representation. Now for example, if we say if we talk about the electrical behavior of the metallic conductors, they are classified into insulators, semiconductors by the band theory. Now the metals, they are good conductors of electricity. As we can see in the band, there is no gap between the bands. That is why they are good conductors of electricity. Here we have S band overlap and P band overlap with the help of the orbital. Since there is overlapping between the S orbital and P orbital, hence S and P band, both the bands are overlapping on each other. Similarly, we can classify into the bad insulators, which are bad conductors of electricity, and hence we can also say that the valence band is completely filled with the electrons in this, since the forbidden zone is very large. That is why the electron cannot transfer and hence they act as an insulators. Similarly, in semiconductors, if we say that the electrical conductivity is there because there is a small energy gap and electrons can go from valence band to conduction band. So if we talk about the effect of temperature on the electrical conductivity, when metals are acting as a conductors, when we increase the temperature, electrical conductivity of the metal decreases, because at high temperature the vibrational motion and the metal ion increases about their lattice sites. Similarly, in insulators, when we increase the temperature, electron cannot jump from the valence band to the conduction band, and hence there is no effect of electrical conductivity on the insulators. Whereas in semiconductors, when we increase the conductivity, when we increase the temperature, the conductivity increases. We can show this with the graphical representation. As the temperature increases, the conductivity for the metal is decreasing, whereas for the semiconductors and insulators, the conductivity is increasing. Thank you for watching the video.